Okay, this is episode 647. And I did this penny roll earlier in the previous roll, and it was tremendous. It was all copper. Um, and I wanted to continue. I had another one on my desk, and I wanted to continue with the conversation. And I get to keep all the copper together, right? So this copper here is going to go into my MS tubes. These are going to my BU, AU, and then fine. And we have a 19. So anyway, so I said, let me continue with the conversation and let me also continue with the stacking of the copper on the side. Let's see if this one's all copper. They're not all copper in these penny rolls, but a lot of them are. This one appears to be also. So that's incredible. And what I left off talking about, first of all, I was talking about Christ, right, and spiritual health in the previous episode, but the main theme of the topic of episode 646, which you could type 646, and actually at the end of this video, I'll put a link to that video, and at the end of that video, I'll put a link to this video. So you can, if you didn't watch the previous video, watch that first, and then at the end of that video, click the link, and it'll take you right back to this video. Okay, so I'll make it really simple for you all, y'all. And what I was talking about was the importance of owning stuff as a hedge against inflation. Oh, wow. Whoa. Wowzers. Let me go a little closer here, man. Let me look at that 5 under the loop. And if it looks that good, I will check copper coins for see if that's a variety. Nah, I don't think so. Man, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's just a really sick looking I mean, there is some separation also on the top of the 5. There's some separation. I'll put it to the side. I'll put it to the side. I'll put it to the side. All right. I'll put it to the side. We'll see if we find anything from it. You want to buy your kids stuff, you're on a budget. So I left off saying that everybody who needs money, I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Anybody out there who needs money. If you don't need money, then maybe you're just watching this channel for entertainment, which is great. I love if you're doing that. You're watching this channel for entertainment purposes. That's awesome. That means I'm entertaining. I was a pretty popular kid when I was younger. At some point, when I lost weight and chicks became interested in me, yeah, I was popular. When I was short and fat, nobody liked me. But when I lost weight, then people. So I guess what I'm saying is I I know what it's like to be a little popular, and so hopefully, I don't know. I got to I got to lose a few pounds. I'm so self conscious when it comes to my weight. Misaligned eye. Anyway, I get distracted easily, huh? Anyone out there who needs money should have a store, an online store where they can sell your stuff, right? You want to be able to recycle your junk. Sell your stuff on Craigslist, things that you're going to just throw out in the garbage. So you can make that extra money from your old junk. Now, some of that old stuff one day might be worth a lot of money. Okay, well, if you know about that, that's fine, right? If you don't need the money, that's fine. For example, Pokemon cards. But if you don't know anything about them, and if there's even any chance that it's going to end up in the garbage, then sell it before that happens. You know, obviously, if you're a super duper saver, like some people are super organizers and they know how to put stuff away. I'm not like I'm really not like that. I got to get rid of stuff. But there's even if there are certain things that you put to the side, like I'm going to use Pokemon cards as the example, because let me tell you something. If you had Pokemon cards from the 80s and you put them away, but you're talking about 80s, not 80s. Is it the 90s? From the 90s, excuse me. Pokemon cards from the 90s and 2000s. A lot of those hollows, reverse hollows, um, and rarer or super rare cards. Especially some of them, it doesn't even matter. There's some Pokemon cards that are so valuable that it doesn't even matter their condition. I'm talking about when I say condition, I'm going by anyway. I mean condition. They bent and stuff like that. Obviously, the better condition, the higher the value, regardless of the value, whatever the base value is for the card in near mint condition. But you're talking about 20, 25 years. For most people, that's an eternity. Saving something for 25 years and then having the wherewithal to sell it for a few bucks. That's just now that L's really on the rim there. I'll put that one to the side as a possible whatever or something. Error penny. The error is misaligned die. Just put the L into the rim. So open up a store if you don't have one. Sell your stuff and use that money accruing instead of accruing credit card debt. You know, credit cards. The interest on those credit cards, they'll kill you, man. That's murder. You get into that whole cycle of not paying off your credit cards at the end of every month. So again, a lot of people are going to say, "Yeah, well, I can't do that. That's all I can afford." I'm looking at the corners and tips of the cent there on the reverse. Check that out in a second. Let me look at that under the loop. Where's the loop? Um, yeah, so you might say, "Yeah, well, I have to use my credit card because of." I don't know if that's a doubling on the reverse. I mean, those serifs are pretty cool looking. That might be something on the E, but I see a notch or I see a little line on it. So I think it's a die deterioration. I think that the die got damaged somehow or something got into the corner of the die. That's what I think that is. I don't think it's a double die. It doesn't look that good. Well, that's why I'm saying to open up a store, right? So you could make that extra few $100 a month, and you can use that instead of your credit cards, or you could pay off your credit cards at the end of every month with the money that you make from from the store. And what's that have to do with the price of pennies in America? Well, pennies have valuable. All these pennies that I'm looking at, right? All of these mint state pennies, I'm going to get way, way more. Those are the mint state. Those are the AUBUs. Those are the AU, XFs. And I'm going to get way. I'm going to sell these, right? This is part of what I'm doing here is as an investment. Part. It's not going to make me rich, but it's gonna make me a few bucks. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make a few bucks off of these pennies. I'm gonna make a few, and again, if I find a good error, I'm gonna make more than a few bucks. I'm gonna make a few bucks off of my Pokemon cards. I'm gonna make a few bucks off of my baseball cards. What else? I'm gonna make a few bucks off of everything I got that I could sell, and I can make a few bucks, especially small stuff. I love small stuff. Stamps. Oh man, I love selling stamps. I mean, there's people who are super into them, and I remember I talked about this ad nauseum in other. I'm not going to go crazy into stamps, but I bought these books. I have a stamp. What's that called? Folder. Is it called a folder? Playlist. I have a stamp playlist, and right, I think I do. Let me click on it real quick. Pennies. I don't have a playlist called stamps. Oh wait. Oh, hold on. I'm pretty sure I do. Coins, coin cleaning, stamps. And I have 18 videos on stamps. And you could just go into and you could look anyway. So I was buying these books of stamps because it was so cheap, man, 10 years ago. It was so cheap, man. I'm talking about, man, some people were doing it with free shipping back then. It was bananas. I was getting books and books of stamps. And I was always good at eBay, and I was able to research some of the stamps. I was like, oh wow, like for example, duck stamps, US duck stamps. Psh, those stamps are so expensive, man. The first one I think is from like 1937. I think is like the first duck stamp. Man, that looks like rust. That looks like rust to me. I don't know if it is or not, but it could be an error pen. I mean, don't forget, copper doesn't rust, right? If copper rusted, you'd have pipes breaking all the time. The Statue of Liberty there'd be holes in the Statue of Liberty, but copper doesn't rust. It corrodes, turns green, oxidizes, but it doesn't rust, doesn't turn brown. So that means that there was probably some other metal in here, um, like a little bit of steel that might have fell from, like the shavings from the machines, and maybe some of it fell into the mixture. I'll put that to the side. There's actually an error called rusted penny error. Mm-hmm. It's because there's other metal inside the coin besides copper and zinc. Zinc also, maybe there's too much zinc. Maybe it went to the top, but zinc doesn't rust either. Zinc like evaporates. Anyway, so back to the stamps. Those duck stamps now. Oh, watch. Let me look at what a nice. So that the first duck stamp came out. I think it's 1937, if I'm correct. First duck stamp U.S. I think it's 1937. I'm gonna go to highest first, and it should come out. There it goes, right there. That was 35. Excuse me. So let me just take out first duck stamp and put 1935. And so whenever I saw these, like for example, duck stamps, I knew, and like the person had it. It was like in one of the last pages of the book. So if you didn't look through all the he didn't show all the pictures. Uh, and that's not the duck stamp. This guy has it for $15. That I don't believe that's the duck. That's he has it for $15. There's something. Then there's fakes out there. You gotta be careful with that. So let me just keep going till I find it. Um, yeah. So the duck stamps they go to the previous year. Oh, so it's not 30. So 35 is really the 34. Or is it 35 to 36 and then the 36 is the 37? Something like that. They're a year behind or ahead. I can't remember. It's the blue one though. The blue one's the old one. So look, see, the first duck stamp that you find is $100. And I guess that's nice condition. I don't know what the rest of the condition's like. See, those are the red ones. That's the next year. So it could be this. I think this is actually, so that's 35. So he says 36, but then up here. So I think it's 34. Let me put 34 down. I'm just trying to make a point here, and I'm using one very specific thing, which is these stupid duck stamps. And all right, here we go. All right, so we're gonna look. All right, here goes the first one, $42. Okay, light hinge original glue. Light hinge. So on the back it has a hint. It's super off centered. So $40, right? So these stamps, look, see, really messed up condition. Look, bad condition. No gum. You can say no glue, but it means no gum. Same thing. Look, 60, $70 in really bad condition. Those stamps were about $10 a piece about 10 years ago. Now they're $70, 60, $70. And if you found, and the really nice ones are in the hundreds, right? Like a mint one is, let's say between, remember I showed you that one for $100. That one's in pretty nice condition. But again, it's, it's original. It's hinged. Hinged. People do not like hinged stamps. So probably a really nice one is probably about $200. I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, this one's selling $300, and they sold one or two or three or whatever. They're selling. They're money, man. These stupid stamps are expensive. Anyway, they were like 10, and I remember. So I was like, oh wow, that's the first duck stamp. I was so crazy about them, and I was like, oh, let me get a few of them. And I was getting them, when they were like $10, $15 a piece, and I probably picked up about 5 to 10 of them. And it was, like I said, it was a while ago. But each one of them, oh, we got a 59. I've never, what I never find in here is any wheat cents. He must have put the wheat cents separate. I mean, the person was putting their pennies to the side, and like I said, they probably passed away. But I still have those duck stamps, and they're worth something. They're probably worth about 60 to $120 liquid. Easy. What is that? Get out of here. And I have a little book where I put my valuable stamps that are worth like 20 to whatever plus. And hold on a second, take a better look at that. And they have this other stamp called so that's the first duck stamp, the first stamp ever in hit. Look at this. Look at this penny. Look at the condition of this, man. Wow. This might be like an MS 66 or 67. Wow. This has got to be the nicest penny I've ever found, period, or in a super long time. I think that's like an MS. Let me see what an MS 66 1974 sells for. 1974 MS 66. Come on, Jess. Typed it into Google instead of eBay. Um, where is it at? I'm looking for. Oh, I gotta put in cent. Okay. I'm gonna go. Let me go to lowest first. Buy it now. And all right, they're not much, man. $15, man. I'm saying this might be better than that though. $15. PCG, SMS. That's it. Might, and that's the seven. That's the D. I think there's less. There's less P's here. $20. Cost friggin' $20 to get it graded. $30 to get it graded. Doesn't even make sense. Doesn't make sense. Now, if this is higher than that, if this is a 68, then that changes things. You know, obviously, the higher you go in grade, the more it's worth. I'm gonna put that to the side. That's a ridiculous. Anyway, let me keep going with this. So they got the first stamp ever, which is called the penny black. Then they came out with the penny blues, the penny reds, and they were penny stamps from 18. I can't remember, 1880 something, I think, 1870 something, 1860 something, whenever it was, man. It's in the 1800s in England, and they came out with these stamps. And I just remember at the same time, I was just into stamps for a little while. You know, I said, oh, I got a few bucks. Let me get a nice little stamp collection going. You know, and I got those first year duck stamps. I learned about stamps. I bought books on stamps. It was crazy, man. I was like really into stamps, and I said, let me get some of these penny black stamps. And I picked up a few of them. They were about 30 to $50 in nice condition. Again, about 10 years ago. And that was it. I saw they were going up all the time. Like, you know, not much, a buck here and there. Every month or two, they'd be up like a buck. I was like, okay. Inflation, you know. And now, yeah, watch. Let me go to penny black. Uh, penny black stamp. Oh, 1840 original penny black stamp. All right, let me go to lowest first. There's not many. Lowest first. How many there are? Let me take original out. I had original there, and all right. There's 700 of them. Photo print. Oh, so all the ones in the photo print. You got to be careful with the fake ones, man. There's a lot of fake ones now. Oh man, there wasn't that many fake ones back then. Let me click buy it now. Anyway, this is what I did, right? All right, so they're like $100 a piece now. That's the bottom line. All right, so in 10 years they like tripled. Let's say I don't want to say I made $1 million off of them, but they're like $100. That looks fake. And I've looked at so many of these, and so I have some also, right? I like that with the red malt. I think that's the malt. Is that the Maltese? That's the Maltese stamp. People like that, and you want to see spacing around the edges. So they're about $100. And you got to be careful with, man. There's a lot of fakes out there. You better know what you're doing, or you're gonna get had. And that's one of the reasons why people will pay extra for stuff, from like someone who from a dealer or a reputable seller, because they, you know, there's like, I'll pay extra. I don't want to. What goes buying getting something cheap and it's fake? So this has been a super duper tremendous penny roll hunt. It's got, see the polish cleaning on it. It had a die clash. It has a die clash, and you can see the polishing marks. Those are polishing marks when they cleaned the die. So it must have had a really wicked, probably had a really wicked die clash on it, and they cleaned up the the dye, and you can still see you can see a little bit of the dye clash right there. So I bought those stamps for like 30, 40 bucks 10 years ago, and now they're worth, the ones I got are probably about $120 a piece, and they probably sell easier for me because they're, like they are original stamps. It wasn't as much as that counter. It was out back then, but not as rampant as it is today, as what I just saw right there. Like half of them are fake. And so if you could buy stuff and save stuff, that's great. If you cannot do that, if you have to sell it right away, that's fine too. At least you're not getting that credit card interest, because that's just taking money and burning it, man. It's just lighting it on fire, and that's what you want to get out of um that that credit card debt. You want to use balance transfers with the what's that called? Oh wow, look at that. That's nice. That makes this penny worth an extra few dollars. That collar era misaligned die. That's nice. With the copper coming around the edges. Yeah, that's probably like a $5 penny because of the condition. The condition is tremendous. So people would like that penny because of the condition it's in. Yeah, you use a balance transfer like on the 15 months. They charge you like that one fee, 5% or 3%. And oh, we got another 1960. The other one we found was in the previous penny roll. So this is a variety, either small or large date. I'll leave that shiny one for last. And sell stuff, man. Sell stuff. Get tap into that entrepreneurship that you got there, and sell stuff, man. Teach your kids. That is such an incredible skill. Selling stuff is a serious talent. You need talent. You need something to be able to do that. Not everybody can sell stuff. It's why most of us are consumers, because there's not many sellers. Teach your kids how to sell stuff, man. Teach your kids how to sell stuff. Let me tell you something. My son, what's that called? He could sell sand at the beach. He's good, man. He's good. He's good. And let me tell you, that skill that he has is probably will save his bacon throughout his life. And he learned that from me. I taught him how to sell stuff, and he knows how to hustle an extra buck, man. Let me tell you. That kid knows how to hustle, and it makes me proud of him, to be honest with you. It's like, okay, man, at least he's got some survival skills, you know what I'm saying? Not that I wouldn't be proud of him if he was, I don't care what he's doing, I'd still be proud of him because he's my kid, but I'm extra proud of him. Like, wow, you learn, he honed this skill, and that skill will take him someplace far one day, you know. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Made this this video should have been 2 videos, but God bless. When I say episode 647, yeah, this is episode 647. I'll see you in episode 648. Remember, click this if you didn't see the first one, and click like and subscribe and all that good stuff. God bless.